Primoz! This is the first episode of Sweat Equity. I'm your host, Law Smith. Sitting here with me is Caleb Fuddy.
Woo!
Give them your real voice so they know what you sound like.
Howdy, howdy.
All right, we're going to talk about creating your own motor, how to do it, how to be successful. This is a business podcast. Let's make it happen in 3, 2, 1.
Business.
So we're in our TocoWorks office. We just got an office about a month ago, and Caleb and I have had the idea for a couple of months. He's a little nervous. He's hitting everything about doing a business podcast that's actually useful. I've been listening to the Tim Ferris podcast because you were telling me to listen to the Tim Ferris podcast.
Absolutely.
But I knew that guy. I knew I wouldn't like it. You know, like. All right, I compare this to like, this is what I call the Jimmy Clausen factor. Remember him?
Absolutely.
Okay, so for those who don't know, not a sports fan, Jimmy Clausen was the quarterback for Notre Dame, but he had a face that you just kind of wanted to punch.
You wanted to punch it.
Right, so he'll never...
right in maybe the throat.
So like he looked like an emu. Right? He looked like an
emu plays.
Yeah,
emu plays there.
So he looks like an emo. Like if you need a pause and Google image this and then high five your iPhone because I'm so exactly on that he looks like an emu, I'm totally fine with that. While we're at it, if you want to give us a rating on iTunes, 5 stars, review. This podcast is to help basically be not the anti-Tim Ferriss, but more of a realistic kind of experience on what small business entrepreneurship's like. I feel like I have the same conversations over and over about how to get your shit started. How to like people are like, well, I want to do my usually chicks will say this. I want to do my own home jewelry business, like e-commerce, and I'm like, great. Let me help you with that. I'm glad to help. And they'll go, cool. And then I won't hear from them.
And then it's just silence after that.
Right. And it's like, all right, for the first thing is you got to have some kind of weird obsession, right?
Yeah, you've got to be passionate about something. You've got to have something that's going to get you up in the morning.
Well, it's not even get you up in the morning. Sometimes it's like, so I'll give you, for instance, like I love the work we're doing and I don't even mind like after I go out, take my wife out on a date, and I'm not successful hooking it up with my wife, I don't even mind like going and doing some work because I feel like the clients we have, I'm happy to do that work in the middle of the night.
Right.
So it's not even like get up in the morning. It's also like, hey, I don't even mind. Like this is almost kind of fun to see.
Absolutely.
Maybe that's a fuck you kind of attitude I have. Like about the small business.
That's not a bad attitude to have, though. Just because it's fuck you doesn't mean it's bad.
Spite's a good thing.
Absolutely. Spite will keep you going. Spite's going to keep keep the air beneath the wings on whatever it is you're trying to keep alive.
You're the air beneath my wings.
Try to be.
But there's so another part of this podcast we want to kind of be maybe a conduit of either other good podcast episodes we heard, or blog articles, or stuff we're reading throughout the week or throughout the month that this caught my eye. We're gonna post it on our site. Check it out when we post the episode. But one episode about spite that was really great, and it caught my attention because I'm a big Bo Jackson fan. Bo Jackson,
shocker.
Yeah, I know I'm going to
as he sits here with his Auburn University cup.
two sports metaphors within 5 minutes or stories, but basically the podcast episode was. How do nuns and Bo Jackson, how are they related? What's the similarity between
Sounds
the two?
like an awful joke.
It is, but it's spite. So I'll save you the whole podcast episode, but and we'll post it with this episode on our TocoWorks website. But it's also they talk about nuns in the medieval times. There's barbarians trying to break down the castle that they're in, or the monastery or whatever they're in,
right?
To rape the nuns.
Okay.
And so
That's pretty evil twist there.
Terrible shit.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. And so the barbarians, so the nuns, if they get raped, they're not a bride of God.
Right. They're now tainted. They're not pure.
So they lose, basically. In a very win-lose situation. In their head, that's a loss.
Okay.
They chalk it up as a loss.
In the game of religion, you lose.
Right.
You're out.
To them, that's everything.
Thanks for playing.
So to us, it's kind of crazy. To them, that's their whole life, essentially, is to be a bride of God in their eyes. And so barbarians are at their place, and they're about to knock down the door, and the lead nun basically, she chops off her nose. Where do we get that saying? Cut your nose to spite your face.
Uh-huh.
So the barbarians...
And that's where it comes from.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I didn't know that either.
Okay.
And so their faces are so fucked up that the barbarians don't want to rape them. And basically every nun follows in suit.
It's kind of like when you get to jail, just shit yourself, and you're going to be good to go.
No
one's going to mess with you then.
I think that's, maybe.
Right.
I did that at my all boys high school.
Okay.
It didn't work so well.
Okay.
But, it's one of those things where it did work in their eyes. Now, the part they kind of trail off on that I thought was kind of funny is like, well, the barbarians just lit the place on fire anyway and just left. I was like, So
you're going to go to heaven, but in the meantime, you don't have a nose and there's nowhere to live.
Technically,
and it's kind of like it's like the people you're walking around Ybor.
That's where our office is. It's a beautiful freak show. But technically they won, okay? And they, out of spite, they got what they wanted out of that. And to them, they're going to go to heaven and everything. Okay, so how this correlates to Bo Jackson. So Bo Jackson was Heisman winning running back for Auburn in '85, and then also was a badass baseball player. The Tampa Bay Bucks had the number 1 draft pick in '86.
Oh yeah,
this is when they were owned by
the notorious pick
Hugh Culverhouse, right?
Yep.
They're about to make him the most paid running back ever, or most paid football player of all time at that time, and I guess there was some they still had to court him a lot.
And wasn't it that, the Bucks had been talking to Bo and they had been telling him all while he's playing baseball as well. And they'd been telling him, we want you to be the guy, you're going to be the pick.
They flew him to Tampa.
And we want to fly you to Tampa.
Right. And that ended his college career.
Absolutely, with the eligibility
of baseball.
And what it was, correct me if I'm wrong, the Bucks had mentioned to Bo and to the coaches and everybody, it's fine, we cleared it with the NCAA.
Yep.
Bo took the flight. When Bo got back, he was stretching for baseball practice.
Yep.
And his coach came up to him and said, "Hey, Bo, we come on over here, we need to talk to you." And they told him that he's no longer eligible to play baseball.
Right.
And that was Bo's only stipulation with the Bucks, saying, "I don't want this flight or this visit to affect my eligibility for baseball because I still want to finish my baseball career at Auburn."
Right. And so he gets pissed because he's like, "Fuck you, I'm not going to the Bucks."
Yeah.
And basically, he was already an angry guy to begin with.
Right.
He was angry when he played.
Right.
He played angry.
He just a switch flipped, and he was a different guy.
And so, but he was angry growing up as well. And so that spite helped him become a better athlete. He was just a freak genetically, but also I think that was the extra thing he got over, a guy that it was his size and speed at that time. So now he's just doubled down on spite. He basically goes up to his Auburn baseball coach and he goes, "If you know anybody that needs a center fielder in the pros, you let me know." Kansas City Royals, I think, were the team.
Yep.
He turned down I want to say 8 to 10 million from the Bucks.
At the time, that's a lot of money.
Yeah. Oh, shit. I mean, that's
a lot of money now, but
yeah.
let's be real here.
I'll take that now.
As we sit at a plastic table with our mics set up, that's a lot of money.
We're getting our triangle conference table. It's gonna happen.
It's coming in.
I've got a Zelda conference table I want to make.
The check's in the mail.
Yeah. So he goes and plays for the Royals. Most people know he was a 2-sport athlete. Never came to the Bucks. Went to the Raiders in split time between both. I think he's the only guy ever to be in both All-Star games. I'm not sure. for both leagues at the same time.
I think that might be right.
So basically,
which is a hell of a feat, by the way, for people who know sports. That is incredible to be selected as the best in two sports, not just to play two sports professionally, but to be selected in two sports as an all-star by your peers, by the fans. It's an incredible achievement.
And that's why I have a man. He's in my Man Crush Hall of Fame. Well,
he was actually at your wedding.
Yeah.
If I'm sober, if it's not cloudy enough to remember this properly, I think he was there.
I don't want to meander too much down this route, but I have a Man Crush Hall of Fame. He's the top. He's the leader of the clubhouse. Elon Musk is in there.
Rightfully so.
Okay. Whoever the best is at what they're doing, or they're a game changer. In my mind, my wife Mona hears these like 7 dudes' names over and over because I'm like obsessed with how they become really great. Even though like Adam Carolla's in that.
Absolutely.
Everybody thinks he's a dullard, but he's actually a very savvy entrepreneur that also made a badass documentary this year.
People don't know he's probably one of the hardest working individuals he finds hacks in anything and everything he does to be as productive as possible at all times while he's awake. It's incredible.
So my wife has to hear about Bo Jackson, Elon Musk, Adam Carolla, Val Kilmer for acting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I mean, a little weird, but we got it.
Dude's the best actor.
Yeah, we get it.
Okay.
We got
it. I was joking with my wife, what if we could get Bo Jackson to marry us? That would be cool. He seems like the kind of guy who'd do it. And he couldn't do it because he had a charity event he had to do.
And because it was in Tampa, he refused to absolutely show up.
I'm sure that didn't help.
Yeah. You're like, Bo, we'll get you a flight down. It's not going to ruin anything you've got going on in your life. But we'll fly you to Tampa. You're good.
You know what's cool as fuck is like his people sent an autographed picture and said, sorry, we couldn't do it.
Really?
Yeah. I was
wow.
And I think it was framed. I don't know.
Really?
Mona gave that to me right before we got married. Like, here's
and
a
you
gift.
don't remember anything that happened right before that?
No.
Of course
I was
not.
like, I got to go find the vestibule in this church and kind of rub one out. But so what was I say? Oh, so Bo Jackson, we had a cardboard cutout of him at my wedding.
I could have sworn it was him.
And I think he got. Some people were unruly and know I have a man crush for him. And I
Some Alabama fans there.
Cut a hole in his mouth and like face fucked him or something.
All right.
I don't know.
Well,
I don't want to get too vulgar.
No.
Whatever.
If it's the truth, you can say it. That's the rule here.
So the main theme of that Man Crush Hall of Fame is having a motor. And I don't think I fully believe, like a lot of people, I get this a lot because I do a lot of stuff. Sometimes to the dismay of my wife, she'll see me kind of stressed out or trying to figure out how to juggle everything while having a life with her, having a social life.
Right.
It's a little difficult. I'm not going to lie. But I'm way more satisfied doing 12 different things. I do stand up at night. We're running this company. I'm working with a bunch of small business
Starting
clients.
a new
podcast. I have another podcast about college football called The Triple Option.
More Bo Jackson references there. If you guys are looking for that, head over to Triple Option Podcast.
3xopod.com.
You'll get your fill.
And I've got sketches I do as well. But I'm way more satisfied spreading those across. And if I was doing just one thing, I'd be pretty miserable.
Yeah.
Now, the thing I get a lot of the time is like, well, yeah, I can't keep up with your clip. Like, how many things you do is kind of just crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what else do you like to do on a Saturday and Sunday?
Right.
Like, I used to be the guy that was like, man, I got to relax. I've been in an office for 45 hours a week. 45. That's an hour more than that other dude.
Wow.
Yeah. I need my Saturdays and Sundays.
I can see how people snap at after 40 hours, how they just can't take it anymore. And the stress is too much.
And literally right now, it's like I have something to do almost every hour of the day now. But it's stuff in my interests. So
right. And that's stuff that your motor gets going for.
Right. And long story short, like a lot of people go, hey, I don't have that kind of like inertia or energy or anything. And I'm like, then you don't really want to do what you're telling me you want to do.
Absolutely.
You don't really want to open a bar because, like, if you did, you would start really looking into it, or at least fucking watch Bar Rescue for a marathon, right?
Absolutely. You at least have something set up next to that lemonade stand on the corner there where if they don't want lemonade, they can come to you and get a beer, show a little initiative.
So we were talking about this before we started. Like, I get hit up from friends. I'm happy to, like, sit down and have a drink and go over what they want to do.
Right.
And I can give you a cocktail napkin game plan, which is something I think I'm very good at on the fly. Because I've done stand-up, I can kind of read people, but at the same time, I've got some business school experience. I've got small business experience. But mainly, the hardest thing to change, and I wanted to make sure we had this on our website, the hardest thing to change in business is behavior. And
couldn't agree more.
I've talked about this with my old professor, former bosses of mine, and I go, that is, if you want to call it human capital or employees or connections or vendors, whatever relationships you have, if you can figure out how to bring them more in your side, hey, let's get this done. I don't need to follow up with you 8 times.
Right.
Especially with vendors. I feel like I use a lot of different vendors all the time, the printers, whatever. And I'm like, hey, if we're going to, I'll give you all the business I have that makes sense for you. But if I have to follow up with you 4 times, this is pointless.
Right.
It's duplicative work.
Well, and just to go back real quick to
you got to harness me. Yeah.
Not that you're off track or off topic, because you're not. And I need to get Jimmy Clausen off my computer screen because he's just got this. I'm going to break my computer screen, man. I'm telling you, I just want to punch the shit out of it. He's just looking at me with that fucking.
Chicks don't realize that.
God damn it, Jimmy.
You watch sports and you're just like, I hate that guy's face.
There's guys that you just hate, and you hate them more, like. You almost root against them if they're guys that are like, they're just like the stud and the guy. And talk about rounding things up and staying on track. But that's for another topic. But but going back to what you were saying about having things laid out and saying, man, I'm much more satisfied doing 9, 10, 12 different things at once than focusing on one thing that's, man, this is my 9 to 5. And then I go home. And for me, when I have one thing going on, I am content and happy when I'm busy, and I can do things and have a taste of success and get that little dopamine burst and get that high from, man, I just did something. I did it well. That's such a great feeling. And I start to look for, what else am I good at? What else can I do more of that I'm going to get that feeling all the time? And I think that's one of the reasons why Law and I were sitting here on a Saturday morning, doing this podcast, is because we're always looking for more. And that's not to raise us up, but we know that there are so many people out there that are searching for what we're searching for. They're searching for, man, how can I contribute to what is going on around me?
Right. And it's about, like, part of this is aligning yourself with your interests, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And that might create your motor too. So I say this, like, I wasn't born with a crazy work ethic. I kind of made it happen on my not 100% on my own, but I did realize, like, okay, let's look at all the successful people I know in my life.
Right. Well, again, it shapes it a little bit. It's not something no one comes out of the womb and they're like, let's get to work, man. Let's do this.
Some people are just like, I look at, like, some, like, people that are really, like, PR people that are just always on top of it.
Yeah, but those are different cats.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think you're a little bit, you're born with that a little bit. Like, you have that. There's this chick, I talk about the spin class teacher in my act that just, I don't need any coffee, like, fucking just ready to go at 5 a.m.
Right.
I don't have that.
That's probably a good, secretly, that's like the good looking football player. Everybody just wants you to not do well when you're that person.
Well, I mean, like, I woke up at noon last week. I don't have that. Like, that is not my genetic makeup necessarily.
Right.
But I do know, but the reason I slept till noon is because I didn't sleep all week. But basically, it's about changing that behavior into I was lazy as shit in high school.
Right.
In the first 2 years of college. Was a bum. Didn't do anything. I played sports, but that's kind of fun.
Just doesn't count.
Yeah. It's not like I had a job too. I wasn't a good student.
The NCAA football players would disagree with you incredibly at this point. But
What?
But that's okay.
Oh no,
That you played sports but didn't have a job.
I played high school sports, which
Right.
Which
totally
was
different.
3 hours after school every day. But
Right.
it's
Soft
still-
contact.
Shit. Yeah.
All
Yeah,
boys school.
I had to
You
quit
get it.
because of concussions. But so this is before all the crazy concussion talk. But what I'm saying is like then I got into business classes when I was at Auburn in my junior year for entrepreneurship, and I was like, this clicked, and I was like, oh, or maybe sophomore year, and I was like, I know I want to go this route,
Right.
and I fucking crushed it, A's and B's from then on, without really having to do a dickload of work.
Right.
Still building that motor up. Then I moved to LA, and I was like, all right, 9 to 5 job. Once I got that, it was for a mutual fund company called Dimensional. I don't know shit about mutual funds.
Right.
I don't even know what those are. I did an interview, and I was like,
Yeah.
on the way, like I had to like
Google.
no, well, I couldn't bring it up on my phone. This is 06, so I was like, I basically printed it out from whatever.
You're on like the My Verizon search assist.
I'm on a bus from West LA to Santa Monica trying to like power read about mutual funds and how index funds work.
You're
and all.
talking about mutual funds with the bus driver getting pointers before the interview.
Oh yeah, if
Yeah.
you spoke English, yeah,
That's great.
It's LA. Come on. So,
Jace.
so I'm working in this job that I'm having to spend a lot of overtime to figure out what this industry is, and then I'm trying to do stand up at night, and that's where I was like, this is what I'm passionate about.
Yeah.
And that's where I was basically spending 40 hours a week working on stand-up, which people don't realize. You have to drive out to shitty open mics. You're there for 3 hours. You may or may not get on for 3 or 5 minutes on stage, and then you go home. And so it's a commitment, and you have to get up. It's just like anything you want to do, entertainment or sports-wise, you have
Right.
to get your reps in. Or
Absolutely.
just anything in general. Like if you want to be a woodworker, you should put your reps in. If you want to open your own furniture shop, but you work in accounts receivable somewhere, you better be putting in about 20 hours a week.
Absolutely.
Just trying to figure out new methods, or trying to maybe getting like all crazy about people in Denmark making furniture and how it's ergonomically correct and all this shit. But you have to put your reps in, and that's when I started creating a motor. So that's why I get pissed when people say they can't do it, because
Right.
I know they can. People want to create their own glass ceiling.
Well, and this is something that we talk about all the time, and it's people will come to Law, to myself, and we've been one of these people all at one point or another where we've said, man, I really, really want to do this. This is what I'm passionate about. This is what it keeps me up at night, and it's all I'm thinking about while I'm at work. And then you just find something in the back of your head that for some reason we all listen to that gives you every reason to not do it. And you're like, man, you start to think about risk. You start to think about, the fears of failing and losing, everything that as security in your life. With I get benefits with my job. I have steady income, and my girlfriend, really likes that we're able to go on vacation, or my wife really likes that we're able to get groceries every week. It's like, what a high maintenance bitch. I mean, you don't need groceries every week. Stop eating so much. But it's one of those things where you find every reason to not do it, but it's still all you think about.
Right.
And how are you going to know unless you put in some time, unless you look at things, and don't look at things so conservatively all the time? That's what we tend to do when it's our own future ahead of us.
Yeah.
When we're giving advice to other people, we might say, man, just go for it. Yeah. Jump off that cliff, man. It's going to be cool. We'll put it on Facebook. It's going to be awesome. But we're not the ones jumping off that cliff.
Right.
And when we are, whether we jump or not, we think about it a lot more rationally, and we just put a lot more thought into that process. And, there's a stat that I heard that I found incredibly, it just really raised my eyebrows. And I heard it in a few places, but the first place I heard it was in a great book that I know Law has, but refuses to get through. It's called Start With Why by Simon Sinek.
It's fucking corny.
It is corny. It's corny, but if you're at that place in your life where you you're not getting your inspiration from the Kardashians anymore, which hopefully you reached that quite a while ago. But
what a waste of life, by the way.
Yeah,
watching that shit.
That'll be the last reference, unless we can see some photos of Rob who lost some weight. We might bring that back up. But
who's Rob?
what?
That's the cousin?
Dude, I don't know if they have cousins. I think it's Rob's the brother. Okay, and Rob was in a dark place.
I'm so glad.
So
I
we
don't
need
know
to
that.
speak. We need to speak of Rob sensitively, because he could go right back into that relapse and put on those pounds. We need to really be careful with Rob here.
Man,
okay?
I hate that you know this.
Dude, my girlfriend, and I don't want to get off on a tangent. She watches the worst TV. I mean, it's unbelievable.
That's when I walk in the other room with my MacBook and just go do something else.
That's why I'm here on a Saturday morning, because she's catching up on it. She's catching up on the Kardashians and Below Deck, and I mean, she watches other people live their lives while she's sitting on the couch. And
Below
there's
Deck.
nothing wrong with that, because she's amazing at what she does and she's a great person, but she watches the worst TV. I can't. So anyways, but what I'm getting at here, and what, if you haven't turned us off yet, what we're trying to get at is sorting through the ways that, you know, listening to all those little voices in your head, listening to your friends, and they're all saying, play it safe, stay with your job. You know, this is a great thing, you know, you need to be doing. The stat that I wanted to mention is that 80% of the workforce is unhappy with their job, and given if they had enough money, they would leave their job. They would leave. I mean, that's an astounding stat at 80%.
Right.
There are 20% of people that if you ask them, hey, if you won the lottery, would you still do your job? And they would say yes. And I think that is where you wake up and you're happy.
Yeah.
And you have happiness come into play in your life, and you say, man, I love what I do. It doesn't feel like a job, and I can't believe I get paid for this. Now, finding that, I don't know that it's all that common, but I think when you do find something, you have to investigate that. You can't ignore that, because that is not, obviously it's not that common.
Yeah.
80% of the people hate what they do.
So, and also, like, all right, here's my practical advice. I'm not going to tell you to do a 4-hour work week. Like, yeah. That's insane.
Yeah. Just outsource your entire life so you can go to the pool now.
Let's say you're an office manager in some big corporate company, right? You hate your job. It's a 9 to 5. You're getting office space left and right. Like, you're just kind of hating life. You hate the position. You're overqualified, and you work with a bunch of people.
We're all overqualified, man.
Right. Everybody is. It's like the prison mentality. It's like, didn't do it. You know, like,
come on.
Where's
my raise, man?
Yeah. So my thing with this is, here's my practical advice. Keep that job. You keep it until you can, you have the ability financially to leave.
Right.
And a lot of people go, oh man, it's not romantic. Like, I'm a rocker, man. Like, I gotta rock out. It's like, you can do two things at once. And honestly, it's figuring out how to get your band to the next level locally. Right. It's going to reflect on you in your day job too, because it's going to get this weird problem solving mechanism going. So for instance, in my life was, I was doing stand up. I was 24, didn't have a lot of material to pull from. I didn't have a hard life growing up. And like, I was like, all right, I need to kind of shake this up. I know I need to get better about doing crowd work, crowd interaction, hosting. Right. I'm going to take an improv class. So I took improv classes at the Groundlings. It's one of the best things I've ever done in my life. Not only was it great for my stand-up, where I could I was better on the fly, and now I think I'm like, I still use a lot of that fundamental training, but I used it in business life too. So when I was in, I'd be in a meeting at Dimensional, and I'm listening. I'm listening. It taught me how to listen a lot better. It taught me how to yes and don't negate.
Absolutely.
Like, someone would come up and be like, "Oh, fucking Jeff's a piece of shit," right? And I'm like, you just go the other way with
yes
it.
And
he's a real piece of shit. I tell you, he's a shit factory. Here in the 1930s, so he's setting the scene. Here's our relationship. So the thing with that was like, all right, my stand-up life that is negative money game. Still is.
Yeah.
I lose money on that.
Yeah.
Most of the time. And it's like, I'm building that callus. I'm getting those reps in. But it's helped me in my professional life to where I'm able to use these things that people would consider silly, but they're actually really pragmatic when I'm trying to do my best. And hold on, I know I'm talking a lot, but the other practical advice I give is like, you need to crush that 9 to 5 job so so badass that no one can talk shit to you.
Yeah.
Because there's going to get a moment where you're going to have this crossover into whatever you're doing on the side.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to be like, oh, we need Caleb. He's such an integral part of this. If he's out, the whole place kind of goes under a little bit. Or he's so good about it. Take Friday off because you stayed an extra 3 hours every day to get ahead.
Yeah.
So it taught me to think ahead too. Like, all right, crush this grunt position where I had 18 bosses and basically just do the best you can, because I never want to be like, I never want anybody to come to me and go, hey, we need this report and I got a gig at the Comedy Store at 8 and I'm going to miss it because of that.
Because you have to do some report for a job that you probably don't care much about in the first place.
But it got me pumped to do work. I'm like, oh yeah, got the store tonight, so excited. Like, I don't care. I'll make your binders. Let's do it. You know, I'll do the. Oh, you got to ship something out? I got you. Let's do it.
Well, and you've got the personality, and I think everyone does. It just depends if you tap into it or not, and you have the right attitude about your work. Where even if you hate your job right now, you know, that's something you just learned. There's always something you can learn, even in the worst situation.
Right.
That you can say, man, I really hate this job, but hey, now I know what I don't like doing. I mean, that's a huge part of life, is as much as knowing things that you do like and you do enjoy or that you're good at, as knowing things that you don't like doing, that you don't want to spend time on, and that maybe you're not good at. If you know your strengths, you know, hopefully you know your weaknesses as well.
Oh,
and that's just as valuable.
That's way more valuable.
Absolutely.
Know what you're not good at.
Yeah.
I know I'm a good writer of dialogue, but I'm a terrible constructed writer for content or for websites. So I know I'm not good at this. I know my grammar's fucking abysmal, to the point of embarrassing.
Right. Yeah, we got
no,
it.
I'm weird about that. I make sure to never text like your there.
I'm a big I don't do like you are for your.
No.
Because that's just a fucking cop out. And it's like you don't know which way to spell it.
Oh, it bums me out.
I don't write B for like be there at 12. I don't put the letter B because I'm not lazy as shit, and I bathe and like wash my clothes and iron my clothes. So I just don't like shortcut on shit. I just can't stand people that they want to. It's like you save so much time by not putting the E behind the B to spell B. Well, that was incredible. What a hack.
It does spill into your professional life too.
Absolutely.
So now that a lot of people have to use their mobile phone to talk to their boss or colleagues or clients, it will spill into that, and you'll look like you're writing a ransom letter. Like, there's text. I'm like, all right, there's a bunch of emojis in here and shit. Like, so I try to avoid that as well.
Right.
Where were we going?
Lunch? We're gonna do lunch?
Well, you always want lunch. I get it.
Sorry.
But no, what were we were just the job you have, look, we're starting our own company. I'm running this company, and 95% of the stuff I'm doing right now, I don't want to do.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
I see the forest for the trees, though, and I see
there's a sacrifice.
Right. And I know, like, hey, one day I'm not going to be doing the web dev stuff. I'm not going to be having to write content. We'll have interns or we'll have employees.
Right.
But for now, I know I'm going to have to do it. And my grammar's poor, so I hit up someone, hey, can you proofread this for me? Mm-hmm. I'll pay you X amount or whatever, or buy you lunch or something. But know your weaknesses is huge.
Absolutely.
I know I get really pissed and grumpy if I don't go do something physical every day. If I don't go to the gym or go play basketball or some sport or something. That part is genetics in me, I think.
Well, I think that's an overall. I mean, and we'll get into that in other episodes.
Sure.
But the exercise aspect of your life and your daily routine. I mean, we can go on about daily routine and what successful people do, what you should do, and it's different for everybody. But exercise in general it's clinically proven that it makes you feel like a different person.
Oh yeah.
I mean, as from stress relief to clearing your head to the physical aspects of it as well. Obviously, it's physical activity. it can make an enormous difference in your productivity level, in your happiness level. We talked about having that dopamine come into play that gives you that high. I mean,
It's
how
dope.
much? It is so dope.
That'd be a good rap name.
Dopamine.
My name is Dopamine.
All right, that's going to be your name on this podcast from now on.
All right,
dopamine. I got to come up with something better than lunch.
it's
Maybe
better-
lunchbox. I'll be lunchbox for
Lunchbox.
now. I kind of
It's-
like that.
It sounds like it could
Fits
be
my shirt
Wiz
size.
Khalifa's like side guy. Like, yo, Dopamine's gonna be dropping an album. I'm producing it. I'm the future. Hoverboards. But I okay. So we'll get into this. I know we're kind of on tangent highway, but
It's the first episode. People, chill out.
we'll have interviews in, and it won't be just us two flapping gums. But it's one of the things where I look at it almost on an economic kind of reason too. So not only do I emotionally feel a lot better because the dopamine is in me, but it's one of those things where if I'm healthier, I'll be out. I won't be sick as many days.
Yeah.
Or as many hours in a week.
And you're just you won't be as sluggish. You're sharper. You're in a better. You can handle more adversity through the day without snapping and slamming your computer closed and saying, "That's it, I'm done for the day." And with the hours that that we're putting in right now, and that people everywhere are putting in to start their own businesses or to be successful at whatever job they have, you're gonna have adversity.
Right.
I mean, let's face it. Life is great. Life is beautiful, but there's time where life sucks. Things don't go your way. You need to be able to be stable enough to handle that.
Yeah.
And a lot of that stems from your physical activity.
Sure.
Giving you that peace of mind to know, man, at the end of the day, I can get to this workout. That's something that I can control, that I'm in control of, makes me feel good. And that allows you to handle things throughout the day that may not go your way.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And it's the Mike Leach swing your sword. Swing it where you want to go. I look at it almost like a grid, right?
Okay.
I can picture a calendar gridded out with all the hours.
Okay.
Let's give yourself 9 hours for sleep and just brushing your teeth.
Me time.
Shaving, all that shit.
Yeah. We both have beards, so we don't know what we do with that shaving time, but
I do
it's built in.
I do the beard trimmer.
That's what I got going on.
On a 3 and just.
I'm on a 4. I'm on a 4.
I do that every 3 days, and then
I think that's the spite thing in me.
What?
Just going up to the 4 on the beard trimmer.
Ooh.
Just being like, you know what? Screw this, man. I'm gonna see what I can get away with here because I really don't care.
That's what we call in the industry a callback. Very nice.
Mm.
You want to loop it back. The audience loves it because they were like, I was there.
That's how we roll.
So I look at it like a grid. Now, if I can close my eyes and do this, but like, all right, so you have 24 hours over 7 days, right?
Right.
Let's even be generous and say 10 hours sleep and just hygiene. Just take care of yourself. If you're a chick, if you're like my wife, you add another 10 to 20 on hair and beauty shit.
Okay.
That's another.
I think that's fair.
I could do a whole nother episode on that.
Yeah, I think we might have talk about venting and feeling, getting things off your chest to feel better. That we might have to do.
No, I mean it's just chicks spend so much time. That 10 to 20 hours she spends, and any woman in my life, it's anybody I know.
It's the same.
They burn so much time, so much wasted time. You got to get your hair done, nails. You got to do this, that,
paint
the
your
other.
face.
And when most guys, it's the whole. It's been a joke for the last 15 years. Chicks dress for other chicks. Because
I think chicks dress to not get eaten up by other chicks.
Right. You're not wearing Rihanna shorts for me. I think those are fucking disgusting.
And I know what you look like naked, so we don't need.
Right.
We don't have to do that.
That makes you look like you have a huge coos, or like a long butt, like Jesse Spano. So
long butt disease.
I'm not down with the long horse butt.
Nope.
So I look at it like a grid, a weekly grid. All right. If you can everybody can carve out 30 minutes to go exercise. Here's a fun fact for you: 3% of Americans do the amount of exercise they should be doing, which is, and this is 5 times a week, 30 minutes of exercise. Only 3%.
I feel like you're looking through my soul right now.
I had to research this. I was helping my sister kind of work on an idea for a fitness app, and I started doing research. And this was a Wall Street Journal from a while back, and I had to stop what I was doing and just be like, really? Really? That's what we're doing? Now
We can't find 30 minutes.
Now you can use the reward system, which I think is becoming a lot bigger. Like, all right, if I'm going to get on the Nordic track at my house for 30 minutes, which it should do, it loosens me up, I'll watch Narcos on my iPad. And that's the only time I can watch it, if I do that 30 minutes.
Catch a quick episode of Veep.
Sure.
Get that in, knock that out, and you're caught up.
Yeah, and so I like that reward system.
Right.
If you're a person that's struggling to get this behavior down on your own. Also, walking is great.
Walking is great.
Walk without your cell phone or turn it on airplane mode. Yeah.
I would send a challenge out to everybody to do anything without your cell phone.
I take walks all the time to clear my head.
Yeah, absolutely.
I walk around Ybor and my wife calls me an old Jewish man because I'm just like, feh. Like I'm just walking around just pissed about like chickens and dirt, like just garbage in the street.
Roosters.
Yeah. But all right, so back to like productivity grid, something that's kind of all right, now wipe another 10 hours, let's say 8 hours because you got work.
Right.
Let's say 10 because most people have to commute. You got lunch. You're kind of left over with about 4 or 5 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
And those 4 or 5 hours, even if you spend one working out or cardio or stretching or something, you've got 3 or 4 other hours to work on something.
Right.
And if you're super efficient, you can kind of knock that out while you're working. You know, a lot of office jobs are hurry up and wait.
Absolutely.
And if you prioritize your shit, you get it done. You could just be sitting there and work on whatever you're trying to do. Take that to the next level. So that's my practical advice on like, you have probably in a work week, in any given week, or let's say the work week, let's say Monday through Friday, you have 15 to 20 hours of dick around time. That's where you can use that to do your passion.
And if you can just find, and you don't even have to use the 4 to 5 hours extra a day to do that. If you can just use 1 hour, if you can just use 30 minutes to research, to find what you're passionate about,
right?
To even just start to say, man, what would I do if I got paid no money? What would I be happy doing?
But also, like, if you're like, all right, I got to get my life in order too.
You've got 4 extra hours.
I used to use Monday nights, and I do clean the whole place up, do laundry, because there's no shows really on Monday
unless it's
nights.
football season.
Put it on the background.
There's only one show.
Put it on the background. It's not like you got to watch every Monday night football game.
I mean, you don't have to do anything, but you do it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, do you want to look back at your life 30 years later and be like, oh yeah, when I was in my 20s, it was really awesome when I watched Oakland play the Bengals when they had Chad Ochocinco.
Depends who covered the spread.
Who gives a fuck? You won't remember that either. Like,
who's Ochocinco? Is he still doing free dinners, by the way, on Twitter?
Is he?
Yeah, he would like tweet out to people. He was in Tampa one time up at he was in Tampa. I think he took everyone up to Shula's and he tweeted out, the first 50 people that show up, I'm going to buy them dinner.
All right, let's see if we can get him on this podcast.
Let's do it.
I feel like that's attainable.
I think so. Because there's going to be free food. If he's here, there's going to be free food.
Yeah. Well,
he's got to still have money, right?
I think he's smarter than people think.
I agree.
I would. Plus, I think the way he got into now this is like our 5th football thing.
It's okay. It's football season, people. You need to figure it out.
I think he's smarter than people realize, but I'm not sure. I can't put my finger.
You know what? We're going to find out when he's here.
You know what else we're going to find out? A lot more coming up in future episodes.
Woo!
That's how you segue out of this. If you like this, tell a friend. If you know anybody that's trying to get their own thing started, just go, hey, I've been listening to these guys. I think this will be actual practical advice for you. Or just sometimes when you're trying to do your own thing, entrepreneurial-wise, you're on an island. You really don't have anybody to talk to or hear anybody's experiences without feeling embarrassed or anything. So if you want to hit us up on Twitter or Facebook, Instagram, whatever, however you want to connect with us, ask some questions. We'll definitely try to field them. If we don't do them on air, we'll definitely hit you back. If you want to hook us up, give us a 5-star review. If you didn't like it, give us a 1 star. I don't care. We want to get better.
Let us know.
I like failing because I want to know how to get better.
Failing is fun.
Right. No, it's not fun, but it makes a better product, service, or skill. How about
Absolutely.
that? TocoWorks.com, and we'll be back for that ad.